I need you to stop everything right now and listen. Sit down, breathe. This is time-sensitive and it is aimed at you specifically. You did not stumble here by accident. You were summoned. Let heaven record it. This is not motivation, not casual encouragement. This is recognition and a corrective to a dangerous misinterpretation forming in your mind. I saw the moment you decided to obey. I saw the small, quiet yes, the message you did not send, the door you did not reopen, the habit you finally starved, the boundary you held without apology, the prayer you prayed when no one was watching, the plan you wrote when discouragement told you not to try again. I saw it, and I also saw what rose up against you immediately after. Calls you didn't expect. Distractions that came out of nowhere. Old triggers reactivated. Financial pressure swelling at the exact wrong time. People misunderstanding you with perfect precision. The pushback spiked, and you asked the right question. Why now? Why right after I chose what is right? Now, hear me clearly. The resistance did not increase because you were wrong. It increased because you were aligned. When you turned the key of obedience, alarms were triggered, not because you were a thief, but because the door began to open. When you set your feet in purpose, pressure formed, not to punish you, but to announce to the old order that you will no longer serve it. This is recognition. The systems that benefited from your confusion recognized you were exiting their jurisdiction. Nothing was random. Nothing was punishment. Nothing was wasted. Do not let the familiar pain of past seasons write the headline of this one. You are not being pushed back. You are being noticed. And when alignment appears, resistance gathers. That is the law of thresholds. Friction is the evidence your wheels have finally met the road. I have been with you every single step, through the restlessness you could not explain, through the tears you hid so well, through the bold boundary that made you feel mean though it was holy, through the early morning where you said, "I'm done negotiating with my delay." I heard you. I answered with alignment. Alignment provoked recognition. Recognition stirred resistance. And resistance right now is your confirmation. So sit. Steady your breathing. Refuse the panic of misreading this moment. You are not under attack as punishment. You are under scrutiny because you finally matter to the battle. The question you asked, why did it spike the instant I chose obedience, consistency, healing, purpose, is answered here. Your yes sent a signal. It broke silent contracts. It exposed stale agreements. It set a new standard, and the old standard is protesting. Let heaven record this declaration over you. You are not going back. You will not apologize for alignment. You will not narrate your breakthrough as failure because it arrived dressed as resistance. I am speaking to stabilize you at the gate. Hold your seat. Guard your peace. This word is your covering. The resistance didn't increase because you're wrong. It increased because you're aligned. Listen. The moment you turned, the atmosphere around you changed assignment. Alignment is not an idea. It is an address change in the spirit. When you said yes with your actions, not just with your feelings, jurisdiction shifted. Locks clicked. Access codes updated. What hid in the dark could no longer remain comfortable in your light, and so it moved, it hissed, it reacted. I am telling you the mechanics plainly so you stop believing the lie. Your alignment created a shift, and the shift triggered a reaction. When you were drifting, there were no alarms because you posed no threat to the hold that apathy had on you. Drifting is cheap to manage. No resistance is required to shepherd a soul that auto-sabotages. But the day you stood up, quietly, decisively, the systems that profited from your confusion had to respond. They had to deploy noise to break your focus. They had to send familiar bait to renegotiate your boundary. They had to press where the scab was thin, not because you failed, but because for the first time in a long time, you were moving. You turned when you chose peace over the argument that begged to be fed. You turned when you ended the toxic connection you were addicted to explaining. You turned when you prayed again after numbness had convinced you prayer was pointless. You turned when you started the work without waiting for applause. You turned when you applied discipline to your sleep, your spending, your screen, your schedule. You turned when you said no without writing an essay of guilt. You turned when you forgave the debt you could have weaponized. You turned when you told the truth where a lie would have been easier. Each of these was a key clicking in a lock. Each of these signaled new governance is here. So the sudden swirl, the texts that reappear, the invoice that arrives at midnight, the ache that flares without warning, treat it as diagnostic, not doom. Opposition does not congregate at dead ends. It clusters at thresholds. The attack is not a map of your failure. It is a map of the gate you are crossing. Now hear me clearly. Your obedience announced you as a threat to what used to control you. Let heaven record it. I shifted the lanes around your life. I reassigned angelic cover. I rerouted provision. I dimmed the appetite for what once ruled you and amplified the appetite for what will sustain you. That is why the old patterns feel louder. They are protesting eviction. That is why hidden motives are surfacing. Light exposes. That is why you feel pressure where you once felt numb. Numbness was anesthesia. Pressure is circulation returning. Do not confuse turbulence with wrong direction. Planes do not meet headwinds while parked. You are in motion, and motion attracts both momentum and friction. Hold your seal. Keep your cadence. You are not late. You are noticed. This is the physics of obedience. Alignment alters atmosphere. Atmosphere stirs reaction. Reaction reveals the threshold, and the threshold confirms the way you must continue. Now hear me clearly. If you can name the form of resistance, you can stop obeying it. Vague pressure controls you. Identified pressure loses leverage. So I am giving you language, because language is leverage at the gate. Let heaven record this classification over your week. The push you feel has three faces: distraction, discouragement, and delay. When you can say which face is trying to stare you down, you reclaim focus, identity, and patience, your three guardians at the threshold. Distraction is the loud one. It arrives as urgent noise that feels necessary but produces nothing aligned. Random emergencies that were quiet until you sat down to build. Compulsive scrolling that was harmless until it devoured the hour reserved for your assignment. Busy work disguised as diligence, organizing what does not move the mission an inch. Relational drama revived by people who somehow only need you when you are finally doing what you were born to do. Distraction does not usually tell you to quit. It just keeps you busy enough that quitting happens accidentally. It steals focus. It makes you efficient at what does not matter, so you never become effective at what does. Discouragement is the quiet assassin. It speaks as inner accusations and shame spirals that replay your lowest moments and call them your name. It compares your beginning to someone else's middle and convinces you that it's too late, you're not qualified, nothing is changing, why keep trying? It uses metrics as a mirror and tells you the mirror is prophecy. It turns a slow day into a verdict and a small response into a sentence. Discouragement does not only attack what you do, it assaults who you believe you are. It steals identity. It wants you to forget what I already said. What I say about you defines who you are. Delay is the negotiator. It shows you doors that almost open, emails that almost confirm, meetings that almost schedule, payment that almost posts. It keeps you in a corridor of not yet long enough that you feel pressured to compromise your standards or harvest early and call it breakthrough. Delay whispers, Just cut a corner, lower the bar, say yes to what does not fit, at least its movement. But I tell you plainly, delay seeks to drain patience, and when patience drains, discernment follows it out the door. Delay steals your timing so you fumble what is actually being prepared for right placement. Do a self-check now. Which face has been the loudest this week? Name it out loud where you are. If it is distraction, confess that it is after your focus and that your assignment is non-negotiable. If it is discouragement, confess that it is after your identity and that my word over you outranks every metric. If it is delay, confess that it is after your patience and that your standards are sealed by alignment, not anxiety. When you name it, you starve it. When you identify it, you stop feeding it with attention, conversation, and reaction. Hear the reversal again. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations you are near a breakthrough zone. Distraction spikes when focus is about to pierce. Discouragement shouts when identity is about to stabilize. Delay tightens when timing is about to click. Opposition does not spend resources at dead ends. It invests at thresholds. So do not interpret the surge as a stop sign. Interpret it as a signpost. You are at the gate. I am covering you with discernment. You will not be baited by noise, bullied by accusation, or bartered by timelines that are not mine. Hold your focus, guard your name, keep your pace, name the face in front of you and refuse to bow. What you do next with your mouth, your minutes, and your standards will either feed resistance or feed the promise. Choose alignment. Stay seated in authority. The pressure is only proof that the lock is turning. Let heaven record it. This is not motivation. This is a warning and a covering issued over your next steps. I am not here to inflate your feelings. I am here to instruct your footing. Recognition without a new response will only invite louder resistance. So hear me clearly. What I am speaking now functions as a shield around your decision and a map through the noise that is about to test it. Take this seriously. Take it personally. Take it as law for the lane you just entered. What I say about you defines who you are, not numbers, not opinions, not the pattern of your past. I say you are chosen. I say you are guarded. I say you are instructed. I say you are not confused. I say you are set apart for clarity, for peace, for precise obedience. Your identity is not a negotiation table. It is my declaration sealed over your name. When accusation rises, answer it with this: I am who he says I am, and I move how he instructs me to move. Now, the warning: the season you are stepping into cannot be carried by the reactions that ruled your last season. Old reflexes will sabotage what you prayed for. If you keep explaining yourself to every misunderstanding, you will empty your strength. If you keep arguing with every provocation, you will hemorrhage your peace. If you keep rushing to harvest half-ripe fruit, you will call it breakthrough, but it will rot in your hands. This is loving correction and protective counsel. What used to be harmless is now costly. What used to be optional is now mission critical. So stay with me, because I am giving you the response plan that will keep you covered as pressure tests your alignment. 4 disciplines, 4 gates, 4 ways you stop feeding what's fighting you. First, silence. Close the commentary loop. Stop narrating the warfare to people who cannot help you win it. Practice it by answering provocations with stillness and moving your conversations back to assignment. Second, prayer. Return the battle to the right court. Set hours, set words, set watch. You are not venting, you are legislating. Third, boundaries. This is not arrogance, this is alignment. Decide what is holy to your focus and defend it without apology. Fourth, timing. Do not harvest early and call it favor. Wait for the click, the peace, the green light I give, not the rush your fear demands. Let heaven record your yes. If you agree to walk under this covering, press the light button as a declaration, not as a routine gesture. Do it now. Mark your agreement in the open as a covenant in the unseen. I will respond differently at this level. I bless your resolve. I fortify your edges. I appoint grace over your mouth, your minutes, and your measures. This is not inspiration. This is insulation for what I am birthing through you. Stay. Listen. The steps are not suggestions. They are your protection. Step 1 is silence. Now hear me clearly. Silence is not fear, not avoidance, not retreat. Silence is strategy. Silence denies the enemy information. Silence denies unassigned people access to your process. Your mouth is a gate, and gates are for governance. Every reaction is a resource. Every explanation is an energy withdrawal. When you speak to prove yourself to the wrong audience, you transfer strength into the hands of resistance. When you hold your peace on purpose, you bankrupt what feeds on your noise. Let heaven record this distinction so you do not misapply it. Silence is not bitterness. It is not sulking. It is not passive aggression dressed as maturity. Silence is restraint and protection. Silence is how you preserve the heat inside the kiln until the clay sets. Silence is how you keep the seed under soil until the root system forms. Silence is not hiding, it is handling. You are not weaker because you withhold commentary. You are wiser because you choose where your words work. I am not asking you to disappear. I am instructing you to stop performing surgery in public. Here is the trap that has been stealing your authority. You keep explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. They are not requesting clarity. They are requesting access. They are not asking questions to learn. They are baiting answers to drain. Misinterpretation is their lever, and your compulsion to correct them is the hinge. Every time you reopen the case, you leak peace. Every time you rehearse your defense, you re-injure old places. Stop arguing your assignment in comment sections. Stop writing essays in family group chats that will be ignored until the next stir of drama. Stop turning your purpose into a debate club. When you clarify beyond what is honest and necessary, you are no longer stewarding alignment. You are negotiating it. So I give you rules for the road because wisdom needs rails. Reduce posting. If it is still forming, it is not for the feed. Stop oversharing. Your process is holy. Do not make it a spectacle. Do not announce every move. Announce outcomes when they are sealed. Refuse to argue in public threads. Delete the draft. Bless the provoker in silence and move on. Do not write midnight manifestos to prove you are right. Sleep is a shield. Mute the thread that keeps reactivating your trigger. Set a 24-hour quiet window after any sharp misunderstanding. If it still needs response tomorrow, you will answer from peace instead of pain. Keep your professional updates professional. Do not ventilate in your captions. And when you feel the fire to clap back, lay your phone down, take 3 deep breaths, take a walk around the block, and come back to the assignment that actually moves the mission. Replace venting with directed release. Journal it. Ink can carry weight your mouth should not. Pray it. I am the only court that can adjudicate the parts you cannot explain. Walk it out. Let your body metabolize the adrenaline so your mouth does not have to. Speak to one trusted mentor, not a rotating committee of spectators. Keep the circle small enough to be safe and wise enough to be honest. Let your tears be private intercession, not public entertainment. Let heaven record it. You are entering a fast of unnecessary words. I appoint a guard over your lips and a lock over your reactions. When provocation knocks, respond with stillness. When curiosity presses for details it has not earned, respond with boundaries. When accusation spikes, answer with identity, not argument. Silence is not weakness. It is how you stop feeding resistance. Practice it for the next 7 days and watch The turbulence decline, the focus sharpen, the peace return to the center. This is your first gate. Walk through it now. Step 2 is prayer. Now hear me clearly. Prayer is jurisdiction. Some battles persist because you keep fighting them on the human level where you have limited leverage. You are debating what must be decreed. You are trying to outthink what must be outprayed. You are swinging at shadows in hallways where your authority is small, when the courtroom where I have made you a co-heir, a legislator, waits empty. Return the case to the right court. Return the accusations as petitions. Return the chaos as evidence. I preside there. Favor sits there. Verdicts are issued there. Prayer doesn't just comfort you, it relocates the battle to where you have authority. Let heaven record it. You are not a beggar at the door, you are family at the table. When you pray aligned, you are not reciting panic, you are drafting orders. You are not performing for approval, you are partnering with my will. This is why the enemy loves to tire your mind. If he can keep you busy arguing with people, he can keep you absent from the court where your words move mountains. Shift rooms. Speak to me first. When you do, gravity changes around your life. I am giving you short, repeatable prayers, weapons you can draw in one breath. Over your mind. Father, settle my thoughts under your government. Let clarity, not chaos, rule me. Over your sleep. Seal my night in peace. Cut off every replay and reset my nervous system in your rest. Over your decisions. Illuminate my next right step. Close every attractive door that isn't mine and highlight the one that is. Over your relationships. Filter my circle, align me with truth-tellers, and insulate me from drains disguised as friends. Over your time. Number my minutes, prioritize my assignment, remove the glitter that is not gold. Over your heart. Anchor me in identity you named. I refuse shame, I receive sonship. Over your day as a whole. Lead me, correct me, cover me. I agree with what heaven is doing today. Establish a simple rhythm that no resistance can easily break. Morning alignment, 5 minutes before screens, before chatter. Sit, breathe, and pray. I yield my agenda to your order. I receive wisdom, peace, patience, courage. Read or recite one promise you believe. Speak it out loud as law over your day. Midday reset, 1 minute between tasks. Whisper, realign me, restore my focus, return this battle to your court. Night sealing, gratitude, and release. List 3 graces I gave you today, then say, I release every weight, I forgive, I shut the door on replay, I enter rest under your watch. This is not ritual for show, it is scaffolding for your peace. Hear my promise over your obedience. I appoint peace that outpaces understanding to guard your mind and heart. I time doors to swing when your hand arrives, not a second early to tempt you, not a second late to break you. I wrap protection around those who walk in alignment. Stray arrows will not locate you. Agree with me. Practice this rhythm for the next 7 days. Let heaven record your yes. You will stop wrestling in hallways and start ruling in prayer. Your case is moving to the right court, and in that court you are not outmatched. You are aligned. You are heard. You are covered. Step 3 is boundaries. Now hear me clearly. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. The old you begged for access as if permission proved your value. The new you protects assignment and peace because you finally understand what you carry. Let heaven record it. Boundaries are the language of alignment. Your peace is the proof you're protecting the promise. When you set them, atmospheres will accuse you of changing. Good. You have changed. You upgraded identity, and identity demands infrastructure. I am laying out 4 categories so you stop treating boundaries like vibes and start treating them like governance. Time, Your schedule is a sanctuary. Emotional labor, your energy is currency. Access, your plans are sensitive until sealed. Environment, your attention is an altar. Decide in advance how each will be guarded so you are not inventing rules under pressure and calling it discernment. Time, your calendar must match your calling. Pre-block creation, rest, health, and prayer before you accept meetings, favors, and last-minute emergencies that have nothing to do with your lane. Script it. That time is already committed. I can't make that time frame. I'm prioritizing a deadline. Let's revisit next month. When you speak like this, you are not being difficult. You are being dependable to your assignment. Over-explaining here is a crack in the armor, a clear no needs, no footnotes. Emotional labor. Not everyone gets your counsel, your crisis response, your midnight processing. Reserve your deepest energy for those under your stewardship and those assigned to strengthen you. Script it. I'm not available for that conversation. I don't have capacity to hold this right now. I care, but I can't be the one to manage this. Here's a resource. Say it kindly, say it cleanly, and stop apologizing for not bleeding on command. Access, keep your blueprints off open tables. Share plans by need to know, not by need to validate. Script it. I'm still letting this mature. I'll share when it's ready. I need time to pray about it. I'm focusing on my health/work/family. No new commitments. Curiosity is not entitlement. If they label you secretive, translate it correctly. The vault finally shut. Environment. Cure it where you place your eyes and ears. Mute rooms that manufacture anxiety. Exit threads that weaponize your peace. Rearrange your physical space to mirror your internal order. Script it. I'm stepping out of this chat. I won't be engaging that topic. I'm unavailable for debates. Blessings. Your atmosphere is not a democracy. It's a domain you steward. Expect pushback. They will call you changed, cold, selfish. Often that label is proof the boundary is needed. People who benefited from your lack of fences will protest their loss of free range. Answer with consistency, not commentary. Remember, over-explaining invites negotiation. Boundaries work when they are clear, consistent, and quiet. Let heaven record it. Your no is a hedge around your yes. Your peace is not a luxury. It is evidence that you have sealed the perimeter around what I gave you. Implement these for the next 7 days, without fanfare, without argument, without guilt. I bless your edges with firmness and your tone with kindness. Hold the line. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. Step 4 is timing. Now hear me clearly. Timing protects what your excitement could ruin. I am not withholding to punish you. I am pacing to preserve you. Delay is not denial. It is preparation and positioning. You asked me to make it lasting, not loud. Lasting requires sequence. Sequence requires patience. Let heaven record this over your spirit. You are not behind. You are being arranged. When pressure swells, counterfeit exits glow. They promise relief, not destiny. A relationship that appears as a soft landing while your heart is still suturing. Beware, that is anesthesia, not covenant. A resignation drafted in a week of discouragement. Beware, that is escape, not elevation. A door you try to kick open with forced emails, exaggerated claims, and favors you do not owe. Beware, that is marketing, not mandate. Fear-based spending that buys a feeling of progress but mortgages your peace. Beware, that is noise, not strategy. Do not trade the ache of waiting for the wound of misplacement. If you rush what I am aligning, you will build a future you must recover from. Here is how you test time. Ask it plainly. Does this move carry peace, or does it require me to silence the alarm in my chest? Does wisdom agree? meaning the counsel I trust, the data I possess, and the lessons I already paid for with pain? Is there clean provision, doors that open without manipulation, resources that appear without strings, energy that sustains rather than depletes? Does it honor the boundaries I just set, or does it demand I dismantle them to move? And am I doing this to prove something, to them, to my past, to my fear, or because purpose has matured to readiness? If panic is the engine, if performance is the motive, if a ticking clock not set by me is the driver, step back. I do not author frenzy. I mark my will with peace, wisdom, and provision moving in agreement. Embrace quiet momentum. Keep building privately until structure catches up to vision. Let your consistency be the headline. Seed the work, water the skill, prune the plan. Announce when it stands, not while it still needs scaffolding. Hype can rush harvest. Hiddenness can root health. Results will be your press release. Silence, prayer, boundaries, and timing stacked together create compound favor. Do not break the compound for applause. Now, hear my promise. I am not late. I am precise, and I will not waste your obedience. I govern intersections. I synchronize calendars you cannot see. I am arranging people you have not met, rooms you have not entered, signatures you have not requested. Your assignment is cadence, daily faithfulness, clean hands, steady heart. When it is time, peace will not argue with you, wisdom will nod, and provision will stand at the door with keys. You will not have to force what is yours. Establish a safeguard for this season. On any major move, give me 72 hours before you say yes. Sleep on it, pray through it, submit it to counsel that tells you truth, not what flatters your rush. Check for peace at 3 levels: your spirit, your schedule, your bank. If excitement alone is holding it up, let excitement sit down and wait for structure to arrive. And remember this rule of the gate: if a door demands now or never, it is almost never me. My timing does not bully, it invites and confirms. Let heaven record it. You will not harvest early and call it breakthrough. You will not outsource your timeline to anxiety. You will move on my clock and keep your oil for the moment I say, go. I bless your patience with precision and your waiting with wisdom. Stand still inside your yes. What I am aligning will not be fragile when it appears. It will be right, it will be ready, and it will be kept. Now hear me clearly. Opposition has a signature, and that signature activates when you are near the threshold. Let heaven record these 9 confirmations over your path so you stop mistaking proof for punishment and start reading the pattern as permission to keep moving. First confirmation, sudden criticism the moment you finally become consistent. Where there was silence, voices rise. Where there was indifference, opinions multiply. Do not retreat. Consistency is exposing what comfort kept hidden. Answer with steady hands, not sharp words. Keep your rhythm. Your schedule is a sermon louder than their sentences. Second confirmation, old connections resurface to test your healing and your boundaries. Familiar patterns knock with new language, but the same energy. They want access to the updated you using expired keys. You do not owe access to what wounded you. Bless them, release them, and keep the gate shut unless I tell you otherwise. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. Third confirmation, unusual fatigue or mental fog right before key decisions. The mind that was clear yesterday feels heavy today. This is not your failure, it is friction at the hinge. Respond with prayer and rest, not panic and quitting. Hydrate, breathe, sleep. Bring the case to my court. Clarity will return when you stop wrestling it in hallways. Fourth confirmation, misunderstandings and false narratives. Projection dressed as fact. People will paste their fear onto your growth and call it discernment. Do not waste your oil correcting every rehearsal of an old story. Identity answers what argument cannot. I define you. Move in peace and let outcomes defend what explanations never will. Fifth confirmation. Financial pressure designed to push compromise or distraction. An unexpected bill, a delayed payment, a tempting shortcut. Do not sell tomorrow to survive a feeling today. Steward, cut fluff. Keep seeds sacred. Ask me for provision with a plan, not panic with a purchase. I will supply. Do not trade integrity for immediacy. Sixth confirmation. Temptation to numb. Scrolling, overeating, isolating, exactly when clarity is required. The counterfeit comfort will cost you momentum. Replace the impulse with a ritual. Step outside, pray aloud for 2 minutes. Drink water, write the next 3 actions only. Numbing pauses pain, but pauses purpose with it. Choose presence. Seventh confirmation. Increased synchronicities. Messages at the right time. Repeated themes in sermons, songs, and conversations. Unexpected help from unlikely places. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. Say, I agree. Follow the breadcrumb trail I am laying. When alignment increases, orchestration becomes obvious. Eighth confirmation. Heightened conviction. Your spirit no longer tolerates what used to be normal. The joke isn't funny. The room feels off. The habit now feels heavy. Do not ignore this mercy. Conviction is guidance, not guilt. When I shrink your appetite for the old, I am enlarging your capacity for the new. Ninth confirmation. Peace in the middle of pressure. While storms circle, something unexplainable settles you. This is the proof you are being carried, not crushed. Guard it. Build from it. Let it be the atmosphere you refuse to trade. Let heaven record it. When you see these signatures, you are not cursed. You are close. Do not harvest early. Do not renegotiate your yes. Apply silence. Return to prayer. Reinforce boundaries. Honor timing. I am with you at the gate, and the gate is turning. Now, hear me clearly. You are at the hinge. And when the door begins to turn, the wind will try to throw you off balance. The surge you feel is not a sign to sprint. It is a sign to steward. The breakthrough is not the hard part. Stewarding your mind and your peace is. Let heaven record it. What you protect in this peak will determine what you sustain in the next plateau. Do not return to old coping, not impulsive decisions because a feeling got loud for 10 minutes. Not rage texting to win a moment and lose your witness, not public venting to gather a crowd when what you need is counsel, not revenge moves dressed as justice, not burning down what you built and calling it starting over when it is self-sabotage. When provocation spikes, enforce your 24-hour rule. Close the app, put the phone in another room, walk outside, hydrate, breathe. Pray the sentence I gave you. Lead me, correct me, cover me. If it still deserves a response tomorrow, answer from peace, not adrenaline. Do not chase validation. Your assignment does not require everyone's understanding, only your obedience. Stop inviting juries to judge a path they were never asked to walk. Approval addiction is a leash. Cut it. Script it in your mouth. I will not litigate my calling in public court. I answer to purpose, not to polls. When you feel the urge to post proof, file it in the quiet and let results be your press release. What I say about you defines who you are. You do not need signatures from the unassigned. Do not overextend. Favor will multiply your invitations. Wisdom must curate your yes. Every open door is not a destiny door. Capacity is stewardship, not shortage. Choose assignments that align with your lane and your season. Decline what flatters but fractures. Script it. That time is already committed. I'm at capacity this month. This is good, but it's not mine. Protect the long run from the high of an immediate yes. If peace shrinks when you accept, rescind it. Consistency will do more for you than exposure ever could. Do not mishandle money or resources. Desperation spending and proving yourself purchases create new bondage. Money is a tool, not a trophy. Keep seed sacred. Budget your next 90 days before you celebrate them. Pause 72 hours before any purchase that announces status more than it advances assignment. If you didn't plan it, don't pledge it. Pay what you owe, save what you can, sow as I instruct. Invest in your skill and cut the glitter that pretends to be growth. Provision multiplies under order. Replace fear with discipline. Sleep is a shield. Honor your nights. Hydration clears the mind I am speaking to. Drink water before you answer anything heavy. Keep declarations on your tongue that sound like scripture because they carry the same alignment. I am anchored in peace. I do not move by panic. My steps are ordered. My times are in His hands. I refuse frenzy. I choose wisdom. Hold a protected routine. Morning alignment before screens. Midday reset before decisions. Night release before bed. Guard your first hour and your last. They set the borders of your day. Let heaven record it. When resistance peaks, you will not regress. You will govern. You will not chase noise. You will keep rhythm. You will not spend to soothe. You will steward to strengthen. You will not scatter your yes. You will allocate it. I bless your mind with clarity, your body with rest, your schedule with order, your finances with discipline. Stay inside the structure I gave you. Silence, prayer, boundaries, timing, and the pressure that came to scatter you will become the wind that carries you. Now, hear me clearly. This is activation. Let heaven record it. Code 888 is not a trend, not a trick, not a superstition. It is a declaration of agreement, abundance without grasping, alignment without frenzy, forward motion without force. It is the seal that says you will not negotiate with anxiety when resistance tries to renegotiate your obedience. Type 888 right now, not for me, but as your covenant that you will respond with silence, with prayer, with boundaries, and with timing. Do it now. Let your fingers become your faith. Let your agreement be visible in the earth, so it can be witnessed in heaven. As you type 888, whisper this truth so your nervous system hears it. I am not being punished. I am being positioned. Worthiness was never the issue. Readiness was. What I say about you defines who you are, and I call you aligned, covered, advancing. The pressure that rose after your obedience was not wrath. It was recognition. This seal marks your shift from reaction to governance, from noise to rhythm, from proving to stewarding. Let heaven record it. You agree with alignment, not anxiety. Now, name your resistance privately without spectacle. Is it distraction? Is it discouragement? Or is it delay? Say it under your breath. If it is distraction, your counter is silence and boundaries. Reduce the noise, guard the gate. Pull your energy back from every unassigned crowd. If it is discouragement, your counter is prayer. Return the case to the right court. Draft orders instead of arguments, and let me adjudicate what you cannot persuade. If it is delay, your counter is timing, honor sequence. Refuse counterfeit exits and wait for peace, wisdom, and provision to stand together. Pair the face of resistance with its discipline and bind your feet to the path you already chose. Stay under covering. Subscribe and turn on notifications now. Not as routine, but as a structure that keeps you connected to instruction. I am releasing guidance in sequence. Proximity matters in this season. You drift when you disconnect. You stabilize when you stay inside the counsel I am sending. Do it now. Let heaven record your yes to remain within the cadence that protects your peace. I place a shield over the commitment you just made. Code 888 is active over your steps. Triple assurance of provision, triple witness of alignment. Triple momentum without panic. You will not be baited into public debates. You will not be lured by counterfeit timing. You will not leak peace through porous boundaries. As you typed 888, negotiations with fear closed and covenant with order opened. I bless your mouth with restraint, your spirit with prayer, your edges with firmness, your calendar with precision. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. And you just agreed. Now, hear me clearly. Your next 90 days will not look like your last 90. The storms that rose after your obedience were not punishment. They were proof. The resistance was the receipt that your alignment posted in the spirit. The pressure was the signature that the season had shifted. The fight was confirmation that what you decided internally began to threaten what once controlled you externally. Let heaven record it. You did not miss it. You moved into it. Here is my decree over your next 90. Doors will open that remained welded in the last season. You will not force them. They will recognize you. Clarity will sharpen. Where fog lived, focus will settle. Strength will return to places fatigue has camped. Endurance without bitterness, energy without panic. The right people will replace the wrong noise. Intercessors over instigators, builders over borrowers, truth-tellers over flatterers. Conversations that change your trajectory will arrive on ordinary days. Provision will align with purpose rather than perform for pressure. Sleep will reset. Creativity will rise. Opportunities will appear without you pleading to be seen. These are not coincidences, these are confirmations. Now, take this and guard it. Stay silent when provoked. Stop feeding what fights you. Stay prayerful. Return every case to the right court and draft orders, not arguments. Set boundaries. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. Respect timing. Do not harvest early and call it breakthrough. Repeat daily. Practice it quietly. Protect it intentionally. Morning, stillness, and sentence prayers. Midday, a 1-minute realignment. Evening, release and rest. Enforce the 72-hour rule before major decisions. Keep your no clear so your yes stays holy. If anxiety knocks, answer with the code you already agreed to, 888 in your spirit. Abundance without grasping, alignment without frenzy, motion without force. Let heaven record it. What I began in you, I will complete through you. I appoint peace as a sentinel over your mind. I appoint wisdom as your counselor, provision as your partner, and favor as your forward wind. I number your steps and schedule your intersections. I cancel counterfeit exits and silence the chorus that profits from your confusion. I cover your next 90 days from day 1 to day 90 with order, with protection, with timely help. Stay under covering. Subscribe and turn on notifications now as structure, not habit. I am releasing instruction in sequence. Scroll to the pinned comment for deeper steps and access to the inner circle I am gathering for governance in this season. If I nudge you to sow a seed, do it as obedience, not transaction. It is reciprocity in the economy of alignment, and I will multiply what is entrusted, not what is flaunted. This is your final charge. Do not negotiate with resistance. Read it as your green light. Hold your peace. Guard your rhythm. Keep your oil. Walk through the doors I open and ignore the doors that demand you perform. What I say about you defines who you are, and I say you are aligned, covered, advancing. Your next 90 days begin now.